good evening. I am here. It is 9:33 on Saturday, September 13th. Almost said October for some reason. October is the 10th month, despite having the number 8 in it. I'm here. It is a rare Saturday stream, and it's early, because I don't want to go too late on Saturdays, because I do stuff Saturday evenings. Iggy Yuddy. Hey, Ephraim. How you doing? Tonight, we are finally resuming the Ace Attorney series. So, if you remember, I actually did not stream any of the games until the Great Ace Attorney collection came out initially. And then I streamed those two games. So the first two Ace Attorney games I streamed were actually new to me. They were actually games I had not played before. And then a couple years... Well, actually, no, I guess it's more like a year and a half later. I decided, you know what? I'm going to go do the original trilogy now, because I'm kind of in the mood for it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do all of them, because they're coming out with the Apollo Justice one. But I waited, and then the Edgeworth one came out, and I actually started that about a year ago now. I did the first Edgeworth game last September and October, and then I did the second one in January of this year, and I kind of had that be like the game I focused on until I went to MagFest. But as my schedule has now cleared up a little bit before the October-November game rush comes out, sans the games that I'm skipping because I'm just like, I don't want to get those right now. Since I have a little extra time alongside Visions of Mana, I decided now would be a good time to jump into the final trilogy of games, the Apollo Justice trilogy. So, if you are watching this VOD or you're watching the stream and you haven't seen the rest of the series yet, and you want to, from my perspective, all those videos are up on my VOD channel. You could watch every other Ace Attorney game up to this point, outside of the spin-off game with Layton. That'll probably be after I finish this. Hey, Mr. Cooper, how you doing? Coop! It's the damnedest thing. I'm playing Ace Attorney. That's not yelling loud enough for that. But yeah, so this collection came out about a year and 3/4 ago, about 2 years ago. And it's pretty good. I haven't actually played it, but I know that the functions of it are good. Just want to make sure my settings are set from the last time. Okay, good. Keep that off. Keep that off. Good. Doing well. Nice. So before I even get into the game, this collection is like ridiculously good. Like the Great Ace Attorney and Edgeworth collections are nice. They're clean. They're easy to navigate. This like takes the presentation to another level here. You get like these animated backgrounds for each game. It plays music for each one of them. You get like the cutscenes of the 3DS games in the background. It's really cool. You get the option to just change the costumes from the main menu. You can actually scroll down and just pick the episode from the menu instead of opening a separate one. Really cool. The fact that you can customize it too, to be like any song from any game. You could set them all to be the same song. You could set all the backgrounds to be the same. It's really neat. You could turn on all menus mode, just make it one universal like song. For a screen that you're not going to be spending a ton of time on, they really put a lot of work into it. And of course, there's all the the bonus stuff. Admittedly, it doesn't seem like there's as much as other collections. It's just the music and the art. But there is an animation studio too, which is kind of funny. It just lets you just choose poses and characters from each game, and just kind of set up the scenes. No typing or anything, but like if you want to capture a specific animation, you could use that mode to do so in HD, in glorious HD. So this collection is the second trilogy of games. The first of which is on the DS, and the second two of which are on the 3DS, which is also interesting because this makes this the only collection to have games from multiple consoles on it, because the other collections were all just one console each. Apollo Justice is actually not the first DS game, and I know people who are here who've seen this, you know all this already. I'm just saying this for like anyone new that happens to be watching. This is actually not the first DS game. The Edgeworth games came out after this game. Because what happened was this game came out, it was an attempt to kind of soft reboot the series, and it wasn't the most well-received, and I think because of that, Capcom kind of went back and was like, you know what, let's just go focus on Edgeworth, because everyone likes him. Let's just do a story with him that still slots neatly into the timeline without ruining anything. So they did that, and then eventually they realized, you know what, we have to move the series forward. Let's make some 3DS games that actually pick up from where this one leaves off. So, oddly enough, like, the weird reboot kind of didn't work, and then Capcom said, you know what, let's continue it anyway. And, it came out well. Ultimately, I would say, in my opinion, just going into this straight away, this trilogy's kind of the weakest part of Ace Attorney as a whole. It's definitely the Edgeworth games and the Great Ace Attorney games are definitely, like, extreme high points. But even compared to the original trilogy, this series doesn't always hit the same highs the original one does. This hits some good highs. Don't get me wrong, there's some great moments in these games, especially in the first DS game, or 3DS game, excuse me. But this trilogy also tends to hit a couple lows, particularly in how it handles a few characters. So you know how, like, the original trilogy of Ace Attorney and the two Great Ace Attorney games, like, there were so many connecting points between each game that, like, even though there were individual cases, it kind of felt like there was a continuing narrative between each one. That's kind of not here for this trilogy. While there are very few plot points that do connect from game to game, these are mostly all self-contained. Like, the main story of this game gets resolved in this game, the main story of the next one gets resolved in that, and then the main story of the sixth game gets resolved in that. That said, the few story strands that are connected between these three games are pretty good, and I would say that Ace Attorney 6 is a great finale for this trilogy. Yeah, I still have Ace Attorney 6. To be honest, my main gripe with Ace Attorney 6 is that it's too long. It's a very long game. So the plan here is that I'm going to start Ace Attorney Apollo Justice tonight. We're going to finish this in probably a couple weeks. If my schedule is clear by December, and I'm only playing like one or two other games, I'll work in Dual Destinies, and at some point next year I'll work in Spirit of Justice. This game, like I said, this game is like probably not as long as both of these combined, but close to it, so it kind of requires a little more time to, like, invest into it. I remember when I finished Ace Attorney 6 completely, it was 60 hours, which is like 20 to 30 more than you would get out of an Ace Attorney game normally. So it's going to be a bit longer, but it will happen. It will happen next year at some point. I will finish this trilogy, because, let's be honest, Ace Attorney 7 is, like, right around the corner at this point. It's going to be announced in the next year or two. You know it has to be. And then I could get back to doing Kodaka games, too. Lord knows I have to do Danganronpa V3, now that we're literally getting a Danganronpa 2-2. Danganronpa 2x2, 2x2, with an if scenario in it. My god. Did we really need more Nagito Kamida? Kamida Nagito, however you want to pronounce his name. Anyway, I'm sorry, I've done like an unintentional ramble here. Well, I guess this is intentional, this is the lead-in. I've done a 10-minute, like, recap of how I feel about this series. So, we're gonna start Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. This game only has 4 cases, but they're pretty beefy. Just going in right away, right away, it's now 10 minutes in. The original trilogy and the Edgeworth games, they all took place from 2016 until early 2019. The second Edgeworth game ends in early April of 2019. This game starts 7 years later, in the not-so-distant future of 2026 at this point. That's right, we're less than a year away from Apollo Justice IRL. This starts in April of 2026. So, things are going to be a little different. Some people might not be here, but some might. And that's ultimately all that matters. And we're going to jump right into the first case here. I don't think I need to make my PNG tuber transparent, because I think the text in these games don't trail off, but I might see. If it is... Actually, I should switch to the human tuber, because that's what Karma made this for visual novels. Love the presentation in this game, by the way. These cutscenes are so good. Showdown time. You lose. Ah! Ah! full scream. Mic sensitivity might be too high on my end. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me? Please. Cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. I'm bouncing a little too much. I'm gonna see if I can adjust that a bit. Bounce force. Reduce that up to like 100. How's this? It's still a lot. I'm gonna turn up. Actually, I'm gonna turn down I'm gonna turn up the cooldown time on this, so it has a little more time active before going back to normal. There we go. That's better. Card game, still serious business. Yep. April 20th, 2026, 9:37 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Panicked. Palms sweaty. Can admit it. I'm nervous. Good morning. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise. Is that your voice? Suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial, and it's a homicide. Guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Chords of Steel voice workout. I'm fine. Ah, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down, if you get my drift. Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Oh, literally none of your chat messages you were sending on your phone were showing up for some reason. Epic. Oh god, really? You were talking the whole time, Kayla? Oh no. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today's my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. I still don't like how much I'm bouncing here. The human tuber is like too tall, so it squishes a lot. Let me turn down the bounce force to like 30. How's this? Oh, that's too little. Turn it to 60. Keeps giving me like a status update every time I do. Yeah, that's good. I think the speed might just be the main issue here. Bounce. Woo! Okay. Yeah, that's good. How about this? No, that doesn't change the speed. The speed. I think I have to actually change the model to make it change to like get it to change differently. Was saying stuff I don't remember much of Spirit of Justice at all, so eventually excited to watch you do it. Never did the DLC case at all either. Nice. My boss wants me to help him out, of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Whoa. Good morning. Good morning, Jay. Yeah. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial, nervous. Meeting him, cardiac arrest. I think I'm supposed to say something. Also still wonder what those FMV cutscenes look like on that super low-spec mobile phone version of the game. Yeah, probably just individual screenshots. Help? So you're... Fine! I'm fine! Ah, Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin's a top-notch defense attorney, and he's your friend. So why... You'll see. You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, It's time. Shall we? Yes, sir. Okay, I need to focus. First trial, here comes justice. I might turn up the mic sensitivity. I really don't like how this model looks, like, when it's bouncing this much. I'm going to turn up the mic sensitivity just a bit, so I'd actually have to, like, make noise. And then I'm going to do... How do I change... Oh, okay, I actually have to hit the button. Give me 1 second. Where are these two? Squash. Okay, let me drop the squash down. Same with this one. How's this? Wait, no. I gotta increase the bounce force back up. Okay, how's this? That's better. Now it's not going... It was, like, way too quick before. Now I think it should be okay. Wait, put it back to what it was. Put the mic sensitivity down back a little bit. Okay, I think... Yeah, that's better. The speed was just really off-putting. Sorry. It should be okay now. April 20th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 2. Randomization, but Apollo Justice is the only game in the series I actually played in the original hardware it was meant for. First three you actually played in the Wii, and you emulated the Edgeworth games. Played 5 and 6 on your iPad. Guess also the latent crossover you played in the original 3DS too. Yeah, I'd count that. Court is now in session. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine. I mean ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice, and this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor, but I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Not that mine doesn't, but seriously. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, defense attorney must always see to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. So it's really funny, because when the client before said thought his name was Mr. Fine, he was just fucking with him. Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust his case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he have chords of steel? Does he have melodies of steel? Is this Fuga 4? This is Fuga 0. This is how the world gets destroyed. And let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm so sorry we had to meet again I'm so sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. I never get the chance to use that sound. I had to. Apollo Justice is also the only game I have a physical DS copy of too. Every other game you have digitally. Oh, wow. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? Meowdy, Carmen, you're making pizza? Awesome. Send me some, please. Send me through the internet. Then I won't speak of it further, then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. To think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains. Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. Ahem. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer. And he hit him. Wham! On the head. Smack! Killed him cold! Borscht. No, borscht. It's cold soup. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was... the pianist for the club, it seems? Phoenix Wright, a pianist. This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. You know, it's funny because the fact that the Edgeworth games take place before this means that Phoenix probably picked up his love of grape juice from Edgeworth. Probably when they were out on a date one night or something. So, make of that what you will. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Deadly bottle added to court record. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record. Right. I've heard of that. I would hope so. Use R to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, just use R. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. Attorney's badge. How long did I yearn for one of these? Just putting it on makes me feel ready. No clues here. Oh god, using a Switch Pro controller and this feels weird. Like, the game's a little janky on these menus. There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it. Smith's autopsy report. Time of death was around 2 a.m. April 17th. Death caused by a single blow to the forehead. Victim's name is Shady Smith. Age unknown, male. Cause of death, cerebral hemorrhaging resulting from blunt trauma to the forehead. Time of death around 2 a.m. Crime photo 1. The sub-basement at Borscht Bowl Club. Just taking a nap. He finished his grape juice. It made him not drunk sleepy. And then it made him... he took a nap. That's all. Deadly bottle. Bears the defendant Mr. Wright's fingerprints. Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? Apparently it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. Wonder how well it goes with borscht. Bottle's completely empty. Christoph Gavin, age 32. Boss at Gavin Law Offices. First-rate defense attorney and my trusted mentor. Phoenix Wright, age 33. Pianist at the Borscht Bowl Club, formerly an ace defense attorney of some renown. Shady Smith, victim in this case, a traveler only recently back in the country. See, now I'm bouncing too much again. I gotta turn down turn up the cooldown time some more. Winston Payne, prosecuting attorney. For all his experience, he lacks a certain presence. 61. Hey, V2, you're going back to work for light duty on September 25th. Nice. Kind of nervous because I don't know where to put you. Hopefully they won't overwork you right away. And hopefully your foot keeps healing up. I have a weirdly nostalgic memory of this game when it first came out. I hadn't finished the trilogy yet, but tried emulating this anyway. It went really poorly. Specifically, there's a really interesting buggy dithering going on with the sprites fading in and out. Oh, really? So the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this, Shady Smith fellow? We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor. A traveler? According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant. That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime. If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing? That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. As we could see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself. Indeed. It appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
Objection!
Is it true? It is true the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that. A game, in the purest sense. Competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits. Silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Come again? The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women. It'll be our first order of business here, then. To find out more about this fatal game of cards. I mean to impress women. That's more important. Very well. Defendant, you will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. Witness testimony. The competition. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. Woof. The rules are simple. Play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is. A game. And our customers are happy. A pianist who can't play piano. Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? A refresher course, please. Better safe than sorry, especially this early in the game. Apollo, what are you talking about? It's not a game. Yes, teach me. I know nothing. Indeed, your job, Justice, is to be mindful of the court record and the testimony. I like the one word in agreement with what he just said. It's like, yeah, you don't know anything, dipshit. Look for inconsistencies in the testimony with what the court record tells you. When you've found an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the court record with Arr! But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. A good sign that you need to press the witness with Ow! For more information. Sorry, I'll stop that. Like, how are they saying that? Press the BAP switches. Press him? Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But isn't Mr. Wright my client? Well, think you can do it? Yes, thank you, sir. Press the Phoenix button, yeah. Think I could do it. Think you'd better, or we're going to have a problem. Just remember, find any inconsistencies and lies in the testimony and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Do it. That should be a button on my stream deck. A do it button. A Sheev Palpatine button. Inconsistencies. Lies. Phoenix Wright. Yeah, that's him, alright. As if. Phoenix Wright would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it. But he lied constantly in the first game. Or throughout this first trilogy. The defense may begin the cross-examination. So this collection brings back the little cut-in images, which the first trilogy does not have. Because those were exclusive to the touchscreen in the DS versions, and they did not implement them into the single-screen version. You can hardly play. Pretty sure the Wii version had them, weirdly enough. Oh, really? Maybe that's why, because they were working on them at the time, but then the... Oh, I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Is that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. And why are you really at the Borscht Bowl Club?
Hold it!
Title of pianist, yeah. They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am a professional, after all. Ah, I do detect pride. Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine. Yes, Your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston. What? I played poker for 7 years in that little room. And I've never lost. Once. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Is that even possible? Probably not. They probably just pay the customers out to not say anything. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? Has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only in the silver screen nowadays. Not true. Suffice it to say, there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there, right there in that room. A smoky room, gambling hoods, you know. Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. Supposed to put the exclamation point in the quotation mark there. I know, because I've been writing a story like all afternoon. And I'm like, oh man, am I using pronunciations? Am I using punctuations correctly? Ugh. Bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. And you know what goons do. Love using olive oil. What, to goon? Karma was gooning. He was gooning through that window, watching Phoenix Wright and Shady Smith playing poker. For the pizza. Are you goon with pizza? Dude, that sounds painful if it's fresh and hot. It was cold. Okay, I have a question. Do you make... Okay, are you making, like, specifically, like, a Filipino-style pizza, or are you just making, like, cheese, sauce, and bread? Because if it's Filipino-style, I want to know what's on there. I could practically picture it now. That window does look like it'd be good for keeping a lookout, but little else. Penis. What the fuck? He's secretly a husky. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they came in to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. You will scream and swear. Okay, just keep it under control. Basically, cheese sauce and ketchup. Ketchup? On pizza? Karma. Cheese sauce. Okay, whatever. Take a photo of it. I want to see it. Didn't have any other ingredients, but you do have onion and olive oil. Okay. I mean, onion... I've had onion on pizza. Onion and hot peppers on pizza is good. Sorry, we're making so little progress in this right now. 2 decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5-card hands. I could see how it would be easy to cheat. Yes, game of hands. This competition you're talking about, I believe the court understands the nature of this game sufficiently. That's right. It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to it. Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. Ah! Oh, I completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right, there's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well. Defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press. And I've got myself a whole new testimony. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Is there another line after that? No, that's the last one.
Hold it!
Silence? Yes, the guy from the next game says that. The defendant has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything about the law, you know. But why? That clearly puts you at a disadvantage. It's your job to turn that around in our favor, yes? Great, like I didn't have enough to do already. Justice, didn't you detect anything odd about that testimony? Huh? Wait, something he said didn't ring a little strangely. Just one thing. Now what was it? When you figure it out, I suggest presenting the evidence. Evidence that contradicts the testimony. Contradiction in Mr. Wright's testimony? But why? I better check the court record. Can't imagine Mr. Wright lying in a testimony. Isn't it a little early to be jumping to conclusions? This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. If you need more information, don't forget to press. Right, I got it. I'm fine. Let's listen to that testimony again. We'll say I never touched the murder weapon. Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the deadly bottle, so obviously that's not true.
Objection!
You get an award just for doing the first objection. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle? Right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? God, that arrogant hair flip. Look at that fucking face when he does that. Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see. And it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Wait, where'd the voice go there? No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Oh my god, the Gerson Boom, thank you for the follow. Holy shit, what an honor. Damn, dude. Hope you've been writing the new book. Hope that's been going well. Did somebody say justice? God damn it. Wow, that was... You picked a perfect time to come by. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears, and our case. But what about my cords of steel? Your fan game revived him, clearly. I have to watch that. I didn't get around to it. I was too busy. I was watching Ayla stream earlier. They were streaming Pokemon Ultra Sun, or Ultra Moon, rather. And I was playing, and I was writing. I'm writing a story I'm going to probably be posting next week at some point. Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. Prints alone don't prove he did it. Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Not the first time that this exact concept comes up within this game and the next game. Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can be only one reason for that. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle. Ah! The face he makes at the end there. Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. I'm peeking the mic a bit here, sorry. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's good reason for everything. You'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints in this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason. I like that he still does that hand motion, even though the hair that he used to brush is long gone.
Objection!
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it that reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that... Really? Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? I love this version of this song. The Apollo Justice version is probably my favorite version of this song. The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see, and this is the phone that made the call? Wright's cell phone, used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. He has the same fucking phone he had 7 years ago. The same phone he's been using since 2016, he's using in 2026. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he was so close. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. Noki is a forever yam. And you claim he's being uncooperative? Ah! Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about... What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment the crime occurred? How can you possibly know that? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer's simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. You're as good as they say you are. Someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people! Used to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. No clues here. Like I said, he's been using this phone for 10 years. Wow, the battery's being held in with a piece of tape. He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it. Or he just doesn't care. Little Easter eggs are around when you look for them. Just a smooth, like low texture phone. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. You are sure? I swear it on my gavel. Please come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you are sure it is okay. Now, the prosecution. Wait a minute. Will the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia? Yes, she's a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. That would be... My name is Olga Orly. I'm employed as waitress in Borscht Boat Club restaurant. Then why the camera? What was that? Then why the camera? The judge keeps losing his voice. Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht at his naming restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service. I take it one of those other services is taking the customer's pictures? Like, for example, this one. Let's see, what do we got going on here? We got... Stop. Oh, it's one... Oh, I keep hitting both buttons. I have to hit one button to make it go away. That's actually an option exclusive to this trilogy. I'll have to see a live reaction to your fan game. How about tomorrow? Tomorrow before I do Visions of Mana, I'll play it. I just don't want to interrupt this because I think I'm only gonna have enough time to do case 1 of this tonight and then stop probably. I like that Phoenix's like hair is like it's so spiky that you can see it through the back of the hat. By the way, I have this hat. I have the hat that he's wearing that says Papa on the side with the pin on it. Fangamer sells it. Oh my god, he's got no eyeballs. Damn. Let's see what he's got there. Some borscht. That looks like a pastry of some sort, and then like a piece of the pastry. Cool, may do it whenever, as long as you want to. Sure. Got some grape juice here. We got Phoenix feet pick. Hell yeah. Phoenix feet. That actually looks pretty good, Karma. Does look, yeah, it does look undercooked though. I would definitely put it back in. Doesn't look bad. I'm not like Vinny Vinesauce who will freak out if he sees like a non-standard pizza, but like I am curious to see what foreign pizzas look like, because I'm Italian, and eating pizza is kind of in my blood. That said, I'm also kind of a trader that likes deep dish pizza, so I have no real ground to stand on here. Also, I just noticed something about this photo. Look how fucking long this chair is that he's sitting on. Like, that looks unusual, right? Like, look how wide it is compared to how tall it is. That seat looks like he'd have to, like, put his legs up if he sat all the way back in it. A little weird. It's under the sun. I've seen that. Yes, I've seen that video multiple times. Where's the cheese? Under the sauce. Some Matryoshka dolls in the background. I wonder how visible those were in the DS version. Anyway, Phoenix feet picks real. That's the defendant? Indeed, on the night of the murder, man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Order! Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop in our laps. It's the same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually. Speaking of, you ate a whole block of cheese? Oh, nice, Karma. So when's the mouse TF gonna happen to you? Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Olga's photo added to the court record. The defendant and Mr. Smith at Borscht Bowl Club. Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? I was in the room. The hideout, we call it. Excuse me, the hideout? It is a room where famous gangster bad guy was arrested. I wonder if I read that as Bejai when I was younger, but now I'm just like too onto this game's stupid pun work. So it's bad guy. Don't worry, the puns get way worse. There's a disease in the 3rd chapter that gets mentioned, and it's got quite a great name. In the room where murder took place. Is the room where murder took place. Sorry. Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post by courtroom door later for you. Photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want copy of. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. If Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well. Witness, you will testify to the court about that night's events. Chesterfy. Chester's not here. That fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on, da. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then last hand is done, but something terrible has happened, da. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection!
That's ridiculous. Because M. Wolf's playing Mario Strikers Battle League, because Mr. Right can't lose. Justice. Maybe you could come up with more legitimate objection. But he hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid, it happens. Yeah, I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as a prosecutor, either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. These are the poker chips as they lay the moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the victim, Mr. Wright. Love this music. So the music in this game kind of skews a little more like synthy and techno. Not really techno, it's synthy. It's very synthy. And they changed that because like when they went and did the Edgeworth games afterwards, they were like, no, Edgeworth has a more refined, elegant style. So that's why they ended up using more, like, MIDI pianos and such. Kind of like orchestrated instruments for his games. Whereas this game leans more into just, like, DS-era, like synths and stuff. Which is really cool. I like it. It gives this game a very unique identity. In particular, when you hear the Pursuit theme later, it straight up sounds like something out of, like, Mega Man X. It sounds like an X4 song, almost. Cynthia sounds like a fun Ace Attorney character. That's actually really good. Cynthia. That's later. Those cards on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? Da! I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Chips photo. Defendant and victim's chips where the crime took place. Excuse me. Oh, I hope no one heard that. Burped. Normally I mute myself when that happens. That kind of just came up suddenly, though. I had some tuna salad for lunch. I'm gonna have mac and cheese later after I'm done streaming. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Whoops. Oh, I think I have that option turned off. It makes ZL and ZR mimic L and R. But I have to use the L and R because I have that option turned on. Only Karma would be disappointed that he didn't fucking hear me belch on stream. God damn, dude. You were dealing cards. Do you do this often? Da, I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht. Dick pic. It is my work. It's good to hear of a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service. Welcome you to Borscht Bowl Club, where borscht is as warm as the waitresses. Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination. Also, the joke there again, borscht is cold, is served cold. So, if the borscht is as hot as the waitresses, or as warm as the waitresses, that means the waitresses are very cold to you in there. It's already April. How could it be cold? At Borscht Bowl Club, we have tried an authentic rustic Russian restaurant theme. Outside it is city in spring, but inside it is always cold as Mother Russia. No way am I going there. When it comes to hot borscht, cold is the best seasoning, da? Dick pic implies Olga's cross. No, I'm not talking about Olga. I'm saying that's what she was offering. Because she has the camera. His locket? I believe it was good luck charm, da? He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. Though if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. The defendants would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about, right? I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket. Of course, I knew that! It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. It doesn't mean what shape... It's considered bad form to poke fun at the heart of hearing in our society. Heart of hearing or heart of understanding? So, what happened next? Something terrible? Ah! Defense will refrain from needless shouting. Sorry. Need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. Now, Miss Orly, can you really tell us what happened? Gotta say, I'm liking Payne's suit in this game. Payne rocks a yellow suit, man. I appreciate... Yellow appreciates yellow. Oh, I was so frightened. I trembled with fear. But the defendant would never do such a thing. Oh no, I can't say I've ever heard the defense try this tactic. If possible, please refrain from embarrassing me. Still, why would anyone do something like this over a game of poker? Perhaps it is because defendant has lost card game? Yes, a crushing defeat for a man undefeated. Actually, when it comes to think of it, that suit's more olive than yellow, so, you know, fuck him. Fuck Payne. Not literally, just fuck him. So how is it always with men so it always is with men like him. Winners make sore losers. Oh, how the mighty fall. Go ahead, but I believe you know what's needed to do here. Right, sir. Leave it to me. Your hat blinking instead of you feels very Ace Attorney. I am. Well, I mean, that's why you designed it for me. You designed... Karma, my Karma in Christ, you were the one who drew this avatar for me, and you drew it because I was playing, the first, Edgeworth game last year. Though you made the Magatama backwards. I ended up fixing that. I actually mirrored it. Like, I went and specifically mirrored that part of the drawing and nothing else. I think it's because you made it... I think you made it to, like, be presented on the left side of the screen. Maybe not, I don't remember, actually. Whatever. There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, I've got you now, Orly. It's cold, both players played with hats on. Victim, he plays the whole time with hand on locket at neck. Then, last hand, something terrible has happened. That man flew into a victim, strangling him, and is strangling him to death. Well, he died because of a blow to the head.
Objection!
So, he didn't get strangled. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Da, normal customers only choke on borscht. No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Ah! Miss Orly, really now? Did you witness the crime? To shreds, you say? That's how Russians yell. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Oh man, I have to, when I get to the end of this game, you know I have to ham up that moment at the very end of the 4th case. I have to figure out how I'm going to do that now, because that's going to be a real moment. Yes, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo of when we took the victim with his hat off during our investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? His head certainly was hit. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at victim, his neck. Oh, really, Miss Orley? Think I caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. Such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. So that wasn't enough of a contradiction, huh? After defendant tried to strangle the victim, he hit him with bottle. After defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with bottle.
Hold it!
He didn't say anything about hitting before. So sorry. I must be forgetting this, da. Witness, you will take greater care with your testimony. Oh, da. I'm sorry, Your Honor. And that clears up the discrepancy with the autopsy report, I believe. The defendant made to strangle his victim, then changed his mind, and chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. Yes, that sums it up nicely. So he strangled him, then hit him? Something's fishy about all this. Go ahead, I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. There are only 3 people. Okay. God damn, that looks so painful. That's like that fucking baptism video that everyone memes on, where the guy's headbutting people. I can't watch that because the thought of getting headbutt hard enough to have a bruise like that on your head and possibly hemorrhage and die just, ugh. It gets to me in some way, shape, or form. I don't know why. I guess misshapen if your head's bashed in that badly. Like what's his name in part 4 of JoJo. Before he dies, his face just getting like caved in. It's like, ugh.
Objection!
That wasn't it. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow you. It clearly contradicts the I thought. You don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice. Objection overruled. And I don't think that won many points with the judge. So, fun fact, that's almost word for word an exact penalty quote from the first game. Probably because they translated Apollo Justice right after the first game came out in English, so they probably just reused some lines. Because originally what happened in Japan was, the DS version of Ace Attorney 1 came out. Rise from the Ashes, which, I should probably bring up some screenshots of that while I'm playing this, because parts of that are kind of relevant to this game. Rise from the Ashes, which is kind of non-canon to the rest of the original trilogy, was kind of like a preview of like what modern Ace Attorney was going to be, and it was made kind of to prepare for the release of Ace Attorney 4, which is this game. But, for the English-speaking audiences, the first game sold so well that Capcom was like, let's do ports of the second and third game first, just before we release Apollo Justice in America. That way they could get the whole story before going into Apollo Justice. Because clearly they implied from the beginning, let's do the whole series. But I guess they realized that the first game did so well, they were like, you know what? Let's get the other 2 ports out there before we do Apollo Justice. I don't know. I think Apollo Justice released in Japan before 2 and 3 came out on DS over there. That's what I remember, but I'm not sure if that's correct. After the defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with the bottle. That wasn't right either? Evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence in the statement just now related? They aren't they? Not at all. Mr. Justice, please think of the facts over before making accusations. That's also from the first game. The defendant tried to strangle the victim. He hit him with bottle. I'm confused. Wait a minute, what did I present? I thought I presented Crime Photo 2. I did, and that wasn't right.
Objection!
Oh my god, two choices in, I'm already I already forgot what to do here. So, neat little thing about this collection. The other collections had like 10 save files total and an autosave. This one actually has 10 save files for each game and an autosave for each game. So you never have to you don't have to split your save files between them.
Hold it!
I actually don't remember this.
Objection!
How am I so... Hey, what am I doing? Your profile's not in this game now. They kind of realized that was bloating the game up, the second and third game, so they simplified it back down in the fourth game.
Objection!
What? Why are these the right one? Am I on the wrong statement? That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. Defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. This court finds the defendant Phoenix right. See, and that's what happens when you get a game over. Now I'll actually play it for real, don't worry. The defendant will surrender himself to the court's care, to undergo a regular trial at the High Court within a month's time. Court is adjourned. Phoenix is like, how did you fuck that up? I don't know if the retry from Scene was in the original version of this game. Okay, it literally just takes you right back there. That's good.
Hold it!
Retry from Scene is a new feature, yeah. It didn't go back to the last time I saved, because I have full health again. I saved at 3 health. Defendant tried to strangle the victim. He hit him with bottle.
Objection!
Damn it! Thought maybe because he called it in. I don't understand. This is the statement, right? I haven't played this game in years, so don't get on my case.
Objection!
Is it the autopsy report? Because that's like the only thing I haven't presented here. Alright, whatever. whatever. I'm back to where I saved before, so...
Objection!
That wasn't it either! Chad, am I losing my mind? I presented literally all 7 pieces of evidence here. Inspect the pics. I think I know what it is already. It just flashed in my head right now, but I think I might know. Yeah, I'm almost positive. Victim, he plays with a hand on locket the whole time. Fuck, that was a red herring. Damn it. I got the Russians spied me out, or something. I don't know.
Objection!
Fuck off. I should have known that too. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. Victim played with his hand on the locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me realize I'm on the right track. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? We're to believe this witness's testimony as is, and the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. The locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Christoph Gavin, the meanest twink on the planet. What the fuck? Say? Yes? Hey, yes? I just noticed this, but... You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh. Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket, with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Phoenix's daddy. Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. So Mr. Wright is a locket too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Well, now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game? Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly. Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Da. Using the voices here. Game began with 3,500 points in chips for each man. House chips come in 2 sizes, small and large. One who was winning, it was the victim. For last hand, defendant played with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was like the defendant's life. Oh, I said like there. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. You think that Payne is the type of mean uncle to the dad, but kind uncle to the child type? I think so. He tends to have a weak spot for kids and cute girls. How many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. Common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Serious competition. Are those the usual starting points? Were there any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules. Each man began with 3,500 points, and the total would be, exactly 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division.
Hold it!
Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Press harder, baby. Maybe you could explain a bit more about these chips. Explain. What is there to be explained? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips, not a chip off the old block, not a motorcycle cop, not a... Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask her something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even? Yet, as I've been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Two types of chip. 100 points chip and 1,000 points chip. It is not money, da. Justice? Sir, don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. There are only 6 small chips, but there are 10 big chips. So wait a minute. If each person starts with 3,500, they can't. There's no way they could do that and then have enough small chips to be worth it. So the small chips are the more expensive ones. The small chips are worth 1,000, and the big ones are worth 100. Which means if these sides are correct, Phoenix has 4,100, and Shady only had 2,900. Is there enough there to like play properly though? 3,500, 3 and 5 of each, or 3 of small and 5 big ones each. And you can only ante up in 100s, I guess. We know about chips. We played Somnium Files. Yeah, we did. So I'm grabbing a drink right now. Give me 1 second. I am quite thirsty. Refreshing. Chair's sinking. I'm out of green tea. I only have 4 bottles left, including this one. I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Oh, does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony? Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. Stop slurring your words, Apollo. I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well. Witness, if you would be so kind. Your Honor. One kind of chip is worth 100 points. Other kind is worth 1,000. 2 kinds in all.
Hold it!
2 kinds, like Markiplier's brother's furry comic. He's at like every furry convention too. He's always in the dealer's den. I see him like at every furry convention. Anthrocon at least. Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. We are not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I better think of something to ask, and quick. The 2 types of chips. The small ones are 100 and the big ones 1,000. Right? Right, of course. Ha! Don't waste our time. Is that all? Yeah. Great, Mr. Gavin made me stop her, now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice. Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who, me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten, after all. Calculation? The one who was winning. It was the victim.
Hold it!
Haven't read Two Kinds in a long time. I don't think I've ever read Two Kinds. Also, hey Hina, how you doing? You're telling me that Mr. Wright, undefeated for 7 whole years, was losing? Da. It must have been a most unlucky day for him. I'm glad I did not take other pictures of him. It would break camera, certainly. Chips, they went always to the victim's side of the table. So you're telling us it was a one-sided game? Da, one-sided, and...
Hold it!
Last hand. It was largest points of any hand. Defendant's hand, it was excellent. He tried to use it to take victory from behind. Here's that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture. That is truly an excellent hand. However, so is the victim's. The one with the highest number wins, so defendant loses. Victim... Vocal readjustment time. The victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next. Once cards laid down on table, it happened. Big fan of it back in the day, big enough that I even talked to Tom. Nice. The moment loss was decided, the defendant grabbed table from bottle, and bottle from table, and table from bottle, and the chicken in the bag, and the chicken in the bag. And what happened next? To think of it now, I shake and tremble, da. I did not believe such thing would happen. What such thing? Please, you must believe, I had no idea. How could such thing occur? What such thing? Yet. The defendant had been hitting the victim. I saw it all happen right before me. I saw a bottle coming down on victim's head. Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. Remember, your first goal is to gather information. Yes, sir. Look out, contradiction. Here comes justice.
Objection!
Okay, so we had to figure that out ourselves without having the game spell it out for us, which is nice. And the bag, but where's the sheriff? You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure? It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at this picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten. The 3rd time someone said that. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course, duh! Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000. Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see, 3 plus 1, carry the 5. There's no 1 in there. Judge, what are you doing? They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Every time they say kindergarten, someone in court regresses. I should get a BAB form for my PNG tuber. Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Starting points are wrong, chip counts are wrong, both are right. Well, both are right, the chips were just, reversed. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there could be only one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness, utter madness! Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you'd figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! There's more! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Ah. Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math here. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points and the defendant had 4,100. Well now, seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible. My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning. Hashtag winning. Ah! Now, Miss Orley. You must have known the true value of the chips. Since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? Weren't you? Better way. He was gaming. Yeah, he was gaming. He was gaming. G-A-Y-M-E-N. Let's talk more about that thing later. Yeah, Karma, the problem is I don't have any more spots for more PNG tubers. My current setup is full. I either have to find a new program to get more forms, or I have to use a different model completely, which means getting rid of some of them, which means, like, not having access to all of them at once. Which is unfortunate. Order! Order! It appears the defendant has lost his motive. I mean, you aren't going to use Bird Kisser. I know, but it keeps popping up. It's a funny meme. I like having it. This is like the first... Isn't this the first one you drew me? I used this during the first Ace Attorney game. Back when I started doing PNG Tuber. Impressive handwork there, Olga. Yeah. And Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. It never happened. We must now ask ourselves what... okay. Just cut me off. Sure. Excuse me. What is it, Miss Orley? There's no history in this game, because what they added restart from scene, but they couldn't add a history to this game. The 3DS games both have it. Excuse me. What is it, Miss Orley? Yeah, Karma, you knew exactly what I was referencing there. I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. Oh, why? I'm such an idiot, damn it. Thank you, Ayla. It is there. I was hitting L because what game uses L for the history? Danganronpa? I don't know. Yeah, Karma.
Bruh.
That was me having a brain fart. Severe brain fart.
No.
We must now ask ourselves whether we could trust the witness's testimony. Oh, okay. A cheat? You don't mean... a trick? Wait, or do you mean... a scam? They're all the same thing. Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case has certainly taken a turn. For the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. Is it a ghost trick? The final hand. The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument, huh? The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. Smith. Fietish. Miss Orley! Why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover-up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. Full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make, in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin. What's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker. Can't say this bodes well for your case, or career. What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice, you know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes a 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. Wow, they both have full houses. We forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? Just now, just how hard is it to make a full house, anyway? It is quite hard, It is making a pair and a 3 of a kind at the same time. Guess that's right. Very difficult, to be sure. You could take my word as poker head of courtroom number 3. Very difficult, It is not impossible. Okay, full house hard. This line of questioning, a waste of time.
Hold it!
4 of each card, you say? There is 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is an interesting fact that this number 4 comes from the number of seasons. Huh, you don't say. Did you know that their cards are numbered 1 through 13? Add all the cards on a deck and you get 364. A year. Huh, you don't say. Isn't that 1 day short? That's why each deck has 2 jokers. They say the second joker stands for the leap year. Thus you have a perfect representation of the year. All on a deck of cards. Huh, you don't say. We're going to be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this. I was going to say, wait a minute, there's not 364 cards in a deck. They meant if you add up the numbers, 1 to 13, then multiply it by 4. It's 364, and 2 jokers, or 1 each.
Hold it!
How is it clear? Well, the defendant, he played the 5th ace. A 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. I don't know, there could be that many cards in a deck in an insane run of Ballatra. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! There used to be no deck limit. You've seen that image of the 2 people carrying out the gigantic, like, deck box that's, like several thousand cards long. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. Mr. Wright's 2. Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand. Ba-dum-bum! Your Honor, perhaps this could be added to the testimony, without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well. Witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. Mr. Hand Smith was 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. What?
Hold it!
5th ace. It should not exist, no? Still remember both hands very well. Oh, it was 3 aces and 2 kings, right. Whoops. Well then, where did this card come from? Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to a deck is no less serious a taboo, then, than forging evidence in a court of law. Ugh. Now, perhaps it's time for you to say something, Justice. Only 4 of a kind and straight flush are better than the full house. Yep, royal flush is the best kind. RSF, royal straight flush. You can get that in a Mega Man command mission with a spider. You bet. Have no intention of staying quiet, sir. Not me. Better find some contradicting evidence, and fast. Royal flush with spades is the best. Oh, whoops, that wasn't the end. Damn it. First she says it was a serious competition, now she says there was cheating. Justice, notice anything odd? Her testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated. Actually, yes, I had noticed that. Let's get to the truth about this cheating first, shall we? Right, leave it to me. Next moment, game becomes argument, The defendant's trick was exposed.
Hold it!
Infidelity. Hey, Ryoko, how you doing? Do you recall what the men were arguing about? I believe so. The victim, he shouts, "You are cheater!" And then the defendant shouts something like, "I have objection." Shouting objection, eh? Old habits are hard to break. First he bluffed his way to the courtroom, now he bluffs his way through life.
Objection!
However, Mr. Wright lost the hand. That seems to cast shadow on the doubt on Mr. Smith. Blah, 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 blah. Humiliation from losing, even when cheating. That is what set fire to defendant's heart. So what did the flaming defendant do next? Don't say that about... Well, you know what? You can't say that about Phoenix, probably. In more ways than one. He took the bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. By bottle, are you referring to this? The defendant uses this bottle to... This behavior is an admission of cheating by the defendant. But why use a grape juice bottle? You'd be surprised at what could be used as a weapon. This juice is a recommended drink of Borscht Bowl Club, This year's vintage is remarkable for its hefty flavor. Hefty enough to brain a grown man, apparently. First she says it was a serious competition, now she says there's cheating. I've read this dialogue before, haven't I? Contradiction. I knew I was looking at it wrong, or right. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought it was three kings, 2 aces. Yeah, it is. The ace was slipped out.
Objection!
It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Why is, like... it was like this in the original version too, but like there's a lot of spots where like you'd think the objection theme would start playing, but they like hold it off for suspense for some reason. Justice, perhaps you ought to explain why your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony? Point to the relevant spot. Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2. Russian yelling. Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
Objection!
Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace, huh? I can see cheating all right, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. 2 aces in each player's hand. Does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, and yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust her instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. Cards? Mr. Payne? Yes? Players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? Defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? These cards don't prove cheating was going on. Nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests the time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Received evidence. Victim's hand. Also, something weird about this is that you don't actually see the little icon go into the slot below it until the screen closes. Like you would actually see the victim's hand show up in the leftmost spot down there. But it is there. Like, it's right there. Victim's hand was left at the scene. A full house. A blue card in the kings. Well, time's a wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. Automated. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using to turn it every which way and X and Y to zoom in and out. I'm tired of doing that joke. Try using R stick up, R stick left, R stick down, R stick right to turn it every which way, and X and Y to zoom in and out. The blue card, are we summoning Gilmon? It's like, I don't know if anyone here has seen, if anyone's seen the new Metal Gear Delta, but they chop up, because they only re-recorded like a few lines, but they mostly just chop up dialogue from the originals for the tutorials. And there is a moment where Major Tom is explaining the menus, and it sounds so bad. They chopped up the audio like terribly. You could hear it cut off while he's talking. That's such a weird artifact of being developed first for PC, then those button prompts being replaced with WASD, yeah. It's a good bit, the blue card with some in Gilmon. Want to make Gilmon bread. I have Gilmon on my soundboard.
I'm a baby.
You know what? That sound clip works perfectly for my stream.
I'm a baby. Some nice friends you got there, Davis.
Some nice friends you got there, Davis. That voice actor, he does a lot of voice acting work. He's in Bleach. He's Uryu Ishida. Want to make Gilmon bread. It's a good bit. Hey, Calzoners. Your name makes me hungry. I want a calzone now. Baby Gilmon TF. Did you see, Karma, so you missed the direct yesterday. Did you see what the story mode of the new Mario tennis game is? Major Tom, the horse from Bluey. I have not seen that episode. No, I was talking about Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid. Please don't eat you. No, I won't eat you. Don't worry. I'll eat Karma. He's very eatable. He's microwavable, as he was saying yesterday. That should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Card backs are red. For some reason, I thought that they were using blue cards in that final hand. Didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Huh? Oh, which was it now? What? Your Honor, look at this! Do you think they'd find that in, like, the initial examination? And, like, have that ready already by this point? Haven't seen the tennis. Karma, in the new Mario Tennis game, the story mode is that all the characters get turned into babies, and they have to relearn how to play tennis. It's canon age regression. Meanwhile, the Vita port of Sly Cooper actually recorded new voice lines by the same voice actors a decade later, just so they could tell you about the Vita-specific controls with the rear touchpad and stuff. Really, that's like Star Fox 64 3D. That was the original cast returning for it, but they just re-recorded the entire game. You gonna listen to this monkey? True fact that Major Tom is voiced by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Oh, wow. Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in right... What was that, Miss Orley? No, yeah, I merely said that I have... Your Honor. Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend. A comrade, shall we say. Rip Einstein, Linya. Hey, genius, I'm on your side. The dealer. Wait, so you mean... This witness, Miss Orley. She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. My mouth is making bad noises. Oh, that's not even the right... That was Payne's voice. Order! Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. But I put that card in the Wright's hand. I didn't even say it like that. I trailed off, so me saying it like that is incorrect. I don't generally voice flashback moments, so that's probably going to be the case here as well. Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Ooh. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. I think my mic peaked right there. I'll turn that down just a tad more. There we go. No red zones. What? Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. There's one impressive bowl. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley? It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice? Your Honor, it seems you presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. And that means? This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Objection!
Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. If that was your bowl, it would shatter into 5 million pieces. It would. How's your pizza, Karma? Did it come out of the oven yet? Also... Of course. Hobo Wright never had any business looking this delicious. More delicious than Mr. Delicious from Rax. Hello, it's me, Mr. Delicious. I just had a vasectomy, and now I'm going to talk about it on TV. So, alright, a little interesting thing here. Specifically in this version of this game, in the collection version, in Apollo Justice, they replaced Phoenix's voice clips with his newer voice from the 3DS games. In the 3DS games, he's voiced by award-winning voice actor Sam Riegel, notably of Critical Role fame. You're back, your mom took care of it. Oh, that's nice of her. That's good. So yeah, in the newer games, Phoenix is voiced by Sam Riegel, and for some reason, they replaced his voice clips in this game, which were just originally the DS voice clips, done by the guy in the Capcom team. They replaced it with his with Sam Riegel's voice clips. I don't know why. It technically does make it more accurate, but it also does cause a problem later, which I'll show you when we get to that point, like way later in the game. Can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spewing now? But it's funny because Apollo has his DS voice clips in this game, but then in the 3DS games, he has a different voice. And I'm pretty sure they recast him in the 3DS games, from the 3DS version to this version. Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous! Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before. The 2 decks of the clubs have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, 2 decks might get mixed. You use different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was cheating. Why use different color backs? Sometimes you want +1 hands and sometimes you want +1 discards. Don't use different colored different design backs on your cards. For instance, my Little Troubles cards, I use the same sleeves for all my deck building. It's the, what is it? I have one of them right here, actually. It's the one with the crayon and like the mat on the back, that town rug map that every kid gets to have. It's like legally required that every kid should have it. I have that one on the back. She said it was a bit too salty and I made the bread too thick. Oh, then you made focaccia. Yeah, that's fine. That's still Italian. That's still an Italian dish. Focaccia has very thick, fluffy bread. May have used too much cheese and didn't use yeast. Didn't have yeast. Oh, you didn't use like pre-made dough? All right. Hey, more power to you. Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yes, yet this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. Could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped. Oh. Might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? After sounds like the most likely choice, because otherwise, if the attack happened due to cheating, why would the card would be in there before and during the murder? Perhaps it happened after the murder? What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Objection!
Yes, but tell me, how did you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh? Even when the backs of the cards were a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder. Okay, this is going past silly and straight on into crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and the murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for the blue card? Phoenix Wright. Olga Orley. Someone else. The one who swapped the cards was Mr. Wright. It was you, wasn't it? And why would I do such a thing? Well, because, maybe you were trying to hide the fact that you cheated? That would make sense, but the swapped card was in the victim's hand. Oh. Sorry. I'm a nice guy, but I'm not that nice. Come to think of it, he would lack a motive for helping his opponent win. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for the blue card? Well, it must have been Olga Orley who swapped the cards. She was trying to cover up evidence of the cheating. That does make some sense. Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation, too. Huh? The swapped card was from the wrong deck. Yes, a blue card was stuck into a red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck. And the backs are different colors? Remember, you're talking about Olga Orly. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would make such a novice mistake? Actually, I have the trouble imagining even the judge making that mistake. Give it a little more thought, Apollo. Right. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for the blue card then? Clearly, refused to choose a path, or someone else. One who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem likely to have been Miss Olga Orly either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As a defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly at this point. Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. If the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Phoenix laughing like a madman. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking of how much fun all this is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orly, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. Apollo, I hate to say this, but things are going down a weird route. Can you come over and help me study later? Sorry, 1 second, I'm grabbing a drink. Turnabout, hell yeah. Things will have a turnabout, Apollo. Soon justice will be served. But Phoenix, you have to solve the case. You're an ace attorney. Oh man, this is very sweet green tea, this bottle. A new direction? We'll find that indeed after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand, and that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card, because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards are being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right, person who replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. No, you can do it. You could just rise from the ashes. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. A fourth clown enters. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. What? Ah! I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial is proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. Problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Bring the oil. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes. He's upset at Mr. Gavin and not Mr. Wright for concealing the information. April 20th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. Wait, Gavin's here again. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. Must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. So you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice? Yes, sir. Judge has summoned me to his chamber, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? You're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket? Oh, here, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket? Here, you can take a look at it. There's a picture of my daughter in there. I'm just as surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never, honest, but it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can't be dealt dad cards. He is a daddy. Notice how mellow he is too. Like he went from being like hyperactive college student obsessed with his girlfriend to kind of humorless dick during his trilogy, and now he's like super mellow, like just fucking with people, kind of funny. Also, he's wearing a shirt that clearly doesn't go up to his neck. That's clearly like loosened up and is around his shoulders. You could just tell by the angle that it's like on him. He is truly Hobo Phoenix. There's only one game where you could be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? See, poker's all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law? Figure out what your opponent's thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! That witness, for example, Miss Orley. I miss Dick Gumshoe. I miss Gumshoe's dick. God damn it. What did I say that one time? Gumcell brain shoe or whatever it was. When I said Gumshoe is one brain cell, and I said it the wrong way. Can't belt dad cards, exactly. To be honest, I forget what games he's in. He's in the original trilogy, the Edgeworth games, and he shows up in one more game, but I'm not going to say which one. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you not notice? No. Come on, who noticed that? Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. I almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it! Brainshoe Gumcell, that was it. Yeah. I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. A real trial begins now. Do your best. Do it every day. To be continued. Game over. Please insert 40 quarters. Well, this better be worth it. I've tried doing that impression twice in 2 days. And, it did not, please insert disc 2. Please in C. I was like, what do you mean by that? Please insert disc 2. No. Insert coin. April 20th, 12:14 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. I'm tempted to play this game with my Neo Geo controller, just so I could get some use out of it. And I could use the clicky sticks. I've told this story a few times, or I've told that I've gotten this controller a few times. Hold on. I got 8BitDo's official Neo Geo CD controller with the micro switchy stick in it, so you can hear the Here, wait. It's like an actual arcade stick built into an analog stick. It's so unique. It's so cool. This case happened on 4/20. Yep. It's 4/20/2026, so this happens next 4/20 canonically. Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered? Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness. Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again. That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued. You're looking a bit fatigued yourself there, Mr. Payne. Minus the TI and the UE. I'm joking. Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify, or prosecute, or prostitute. Sometimes you just gotta get out there and work the streets. Or prosecute. Noise gave you Sleeper Agent Korok sound. Wait, what? The clicky of the sticky? Defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand. Very well, the witness will take the stand. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poor loser. Yet, not. Name's Olga Orley. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orley. Oh, really? Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian. And my last name sounds like, oh, really? There, that's the truth. Hope you're satisfied. See, I forgot she says she's not Russian, so I dropped the accent subtly when that line pops up. That's my method of acting. Not to be confused with method acting. I don't know. I don't know how to method act. Hey, yo, quick finger. Yep. Witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night. Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see? Let me remind you that you're currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences. Fine. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game. As a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim. Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. Her eyes do that anime thing where they go over the hair. The plan was simple. Elegant, really. See, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand. And then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would be snapped shut. You swapped the cards! Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it. Would have made for a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Indeed, getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all of his prior wins. Professional swindler, hired by the victim to destroy Phoenix Wright's reputation. Age 21. Seven-year-old legend, destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. Oh really? Oh really? How droll. But It appears you made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree the trap was elegant. Yet what happened to that planted card? Hey, that's right! He's lucky, I'll give him that. You have to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quickfingers Orley. Oh, really? The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind stick. Dispended? What's weird is we have a macaw here rather than an owl, if you know what I mean. So where did the pot go? Up in smoke. Good one. Never been one for a Cheech and Chong. I never watched a Cheech and Chong movie. Cute. Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad. When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung. Chong is in Zootopia. Oh, wow. I haven't watched that either, because there's no birds in it. Best laid traps. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith, it was that no-good cheating defendant. A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark. The trap was perfect, I tell you, perfect! That rotten cheater hadn't messed it up. Look who's talking. Well, the testimony, for what it's worth, is all yours, Mr. Justice. With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
Hold it!
This planted card, which was it exactly? The trump card, the 5 of hearts. Let me guess. Mr. Wright was to have switched with the 5 of the... So Mr. Wright was to have switched the 5 with the ace to make a full house. At least that's what you were going to accuse him of doing, thereby ruining his legend. I slid it into Wright's pocket. When was this? Why, before the match, of course. While he was eating. At the Borscht Bowl Club, we serve borscht. And suckers. Remind me never to go there. Of course, the card was going to make its grand debut during the game. Like a good borscht, a good plot must be cooked up early and allowed to thicken. Wow, and you really didn't think he was gonna, like, reach into his pocket once between the game and the food? That seems almost like super trusting of Wright not to do that. And Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. And then Smith searched him.
Hold it!
So everything went according to plan. Exactly. The 5th ace came up, so it's obvious when the switch went off without a hitch. Once the extra card was found in his pocket, Wright would be forever known as a cheat and a fraud. There are worse things to be known as, I suppose. Tell us what happened with the search. Planted card failed, the planted card was gone, the trap failed. The card disappeared? Yeah, my trump card, the 5 of hearts. Gone, without a trace. Poof, Zippo. We searched every nook and cranny, even inside his cute little hat. But the card was nowhere to be found, is this correct? Never in my long storied career, never has Quickfingers Orley been so readily duped. Oh really? So what did happen to the 5 of hearts? Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant? Oh dear. So the 5 of hearts is still missing in action.
Hold it!
Wait, isn't that a little odd? What's odd? You searched Mr. Wright, thoroughly, and found nothing? Which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim. Well... What was that just now? I sensed something. Something wrong, Mr. Justice? No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little harder? Miss Orley, you're hiding something. What are you talking about? Me? Quickfingers Orley hiding something? Defense will refrain from baseless accusations. I have one question for the witness, then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true. I did see it, honest. I saw it when Wright hit him. With my own eyes, I saw it. What's this weird vibe I'm getting? Touching her neck, was it? Whoa, what's going on? The sensation. It's coming into focus. So this is the gimmick. This is the new gimmick for this game specifically. You get this function that lets you see people's tells by zooming in on them. It's only at certain points. Interestingly, in this game, it's only used in court, but in future games, Apollo uses it out of court. In fact, I think in the next game, he almost exclusively uses it out of court, with one exception. There, that twitch, it's so clear! It's like I could perceive her habit, like I couldn't before. Oh, I have to hit X.
Gotcha!
All I'm getting from the sequence is the cufflink was the murder weapon. I remember this in the DS version. It felt cool because you got to see the higher quality art up close. But since this is all HD, the effect really isn't there, yeah. Miss Orley, perhaps you're unaware of this yourself. Actually, I'd like to say real quick, too. This game has a very interesting visual identity because even though it's on the DS, it still uses higher quality animations and character art than the other DS ports. So, and it's also different from the Edgeworth games because the Edgeworth games use a slightly different art style. So this game has a very unique identity to it. It's the only game that looks like this, where it's like character sprites, but like in this specific style. In fact, you'll see some sprites from earlier games show up later in this game, and they all have this weird like shading effect to them that makes them look like semi-HD. Well, it did back then. It was semi-HD. Now they're just gonna be HD all around. Miss Orley, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself. Unaware of what? Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand. My neck? So what? What indeed, Justice? Hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory, and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it. A memory? Well, would someone care to explain what he's babbling about? This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us? Her habit of scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? Sorry, I got really snotty there. For a second, I mute myself. Miss Orley, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. Notice it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an irreplaceable impression on your neck was this.
Take that!
Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. What reminds us more of that moment than this bottle, the murder weapon? But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your own neck like you're in pain? What's he talking about now? It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit. Not you. This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjecture. The witness's habits, they're completely irrelevant. Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later, just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her. Now I must break you. Miss Orley, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment. Yet, I am knowing nothing. We know you're not Russian. Witness will testify, please. Now. Bah, fine. It's like they drew the art as a proper art first and downscaled it instead of making them sprites. And the art we were seeing now is just the original art, yeah. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there.
Hold it!
You seem uneasy. You try standing up here. Her eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant like? Well, must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat in a daze at that table until the cops came. Intriguing. I believe you've gotten all the testimony you're going to get out of this witness. So what do you think about her testimony? I'll tell you what I think. Her testimony is... flawed. Is basically bogus. It contradicts the evidence. What's that? Well, show us this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence that you claim contradicts the testimony. You shouldn't let him out of her sight until the cops got there. There's some evidence that contradicts that. It was the cheated hand, right? Or, no, wait. I don't know.
Take that!
No, that was wrong. This, Your Honor, is the evidence that contradicts her testimony. Well, Mr. Payne, who would have thought that Justice could be so wrong? He's the guilty one. Ah, me? Mr. Justice, you might want to think about your future before doing that again. Ouch, that one hurt. Different personality, but the same testimony. You have her right where you want her, Justice. Circumstances have changed, yet her testimony is not. That means... there's gotta be a contradiction in here. Quite.
Hold it!
Pretty good, really. I'd be upset too at a scene of a crime like that. Yeah, I can picture my mind going blank, staring listlessly. Yes, I'm picturing you doing that right now. Oh, didn't she not recall him calling for the police? That's it. It's gotta be the phone.
Objection!
Yeah, she didn't mention the phone call. Miss Orley, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club. Ah! So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. Ah! Eek! Non-Russian screaming. The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant. Why does my chair have to sink right now? Showdown time. You dirty cheat! Check his pockets, now! It's gone. The card's gone. You lose. Ah! Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to right. And he hit me! You, some master of cheating you turned out to be. When I came to, the victim was already dead. Is that it? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. Well, where does this leave us? Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming. Must have been me who was hit with that bottle, and I'm imagining all of this. Appears our prosecution's at his wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame him. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events? Mr. Gavin, sir? I believe that as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Mr. Orley a big, fat liar. What? 3 were in that room the night of the murder. The defendant, the victim, and her. And she has a motive. A motive? Her plot foiled, the witness got into a big argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement of that argument was murder. What? I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me. What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process. Denouement is how you pronounce that word. Okay. That's not how I heard it the last time I heard it said. Which, ironically, was me watching someone else playing this game. So, there you go. Denouement. I've never heard of that. Like, outside of Ace Attorney, I've never heard that word before. Ever. They were also wrong. Yeah, no, I figured. Damn you, Crystal! So tangled we catch ourselves in the process. Mr. Wright? Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder. Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. She used once in Kingdom Hearts Recom? Oh, interesting. I was going to play that at some point, but keep putting that one off. And the one who swapped the card didn't know 2 colors of cards were being used. A 4th person. This theory again. Your 4th person doesn't exist. Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. Real criminal? And we're in luck. Clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. Right at the beginning of the trial, no less. What? Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Remember what I said. The 4th person who swapped the cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color on the backs of the cards. Right, but how could such an obvious mistake occur? Cards were used for the last game were red. It was the Godot! He's back from jail, and he did this. Get revenge on Phoenix, again. Yet there's one person here in our court who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, think you could figure out who it was? It's not me, I swear! Who is this 4th person? Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? It's interesting that they don't give you any sort of hint here. Like, you have to remember the dialogue from the very beginning of the case. Otherwise, you just have to blind guess until you get it right. But one person mentioned that the cards... poetically brought up that the cards were wreathed in blue flame. And that person, of course, was Christoph.
Take that!
As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. I was right? Yeah, there's 5 options. We've already eliminated Orly as a suspect, and Phoenix clearly didn't know. And Phoenix clearly didn't do it, so it's not him. That just leaves Payne, the victim, and Christoph, so... I mean, you gotta deduce it, but still, it's interesting that they kind of, like, expect you to remember that line from the beginning. They also don't penalize you here if you get it wrong, I believe, so... That's the other thing, too. It's a good first, accusation. Anyway, Christoph's suddenly getting fingered here. I was right? I was right? Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you could see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. Why? In 2026, why are we taking black and white crime scene photos? You can't tell which of the cards are blue. The ones on the floor or on the table. But look! You can see the colors in this photo. Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. Read the blue flame. That was what he said. No, it's final outcome. So here's my question: if he didn't say that, how is Phoenix planning on getting this guy, like blowing this guy out of the water here? Well, Christoph? Mr. Gavin? Mr. Gavin, is something the matter? No, nothing. Excuse me. I was just so sudden. Right, you aren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph? You know, even though I'd never take a joke this far. This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity! The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder? I assure you, I'm quite sane. What possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim? Wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either. Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met. Well, what if they have? Huh? There's a possibility, after all. They may have met that night before the game started. What are you suggesting? Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like you to request to testify to the... Defense would like to request no such thing. Mr. Gavin? Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happen before that game of poker be related? Not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss Orley... Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Oh, okay. Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear about Mr. Wright's testimony? Yeah, of fucking course it does. This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along. And I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. It too, Justice? You would betray me, your teacher? I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. It's about the truth. Very well, the defendant, Mr. Wright. Will take the stand, please. Witness testimony. Appetite before murder. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. Sat at the table in this photograph. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Mr. Christoph left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made yet another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowl Club the night of the murder? I dine with him rather frequently. Had he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder? Quite against my will, I had become involved in a murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Wright? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. Only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice? Sir? He's lying and you're going to expose him. Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal first trial? With the frizz? No way. You had dinner with Mr. Gavin? Yes, he dines with me at Borscht Bowl Club quite frequently. Almost as frequently as my husband, Edgeworth. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot. As usual. Usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano. I see, where Mr. Smith was sitting. So the plates and such on the table were from your dinner? Indeed, the remnants of my meal with Kristoff. We dined for 2 hours, then Kristoff left. After that...
Hold it!
5 minutes, so the two of them could have passed each other in the restaurant during that time. That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure. Oh, Mr. Wright, what was it you said? Kristoff, Gavin, and Shady Smith may have met. I believe I did say that. Here I was all nervous about this meeting, and now we all hear they just passed by in the hall. Does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder. Oh, it would be if that were really all that happened. Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time?
Hold it!
About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga Orley mentioned, right? Just like that, the legend would be dashed to... Oh, that's still flashback dialogue. I don't need to read that shit. I just read it. Ah, yes. Harmless prank, in essence. It was by quirk of fate that I happened to discover it. A quirk? Happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. The card she planted. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the Five of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen to it, so I disposed of the card. Before the game. When Shafrillis ranked his opening cases in Ace Attorney games, he ranked this one second. I would say it's up there as one of the better first cases. The next game has a really good first case. Fifth game has a really good first case. The third game is a really good first case. I would say really it's just the first two Ace Attorney games that don't really have amazing first cases. I don't really watch Shafrillis. I don't know anything about his content. I just know of I know of what happened in the recent past, and I feel really bad for him. But I know he's picked himself up and gotten back on with doing what he's doing, which is nice. It's good. Disposed? Where? There's an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. Threw the card right inside that bottle. An empty bottle of grape juice? The murder weapon? Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. Colored glass makes it hard to see. A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. But there's no card in this bottle now. That sounds like terrific drama. Card inside the murder weapon. That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. Mr. Wright, the poker head of number 3 approves of this battle of wits. Please provide your testimony with this new information. I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, how could you lie to me like that? Mr. Wright, if I may? Yes? I examined the bottle and I don't see any card in here. No? What, Mr. Wright, surely isn't all you have to say for yourself. Can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. Huh? Perhaps a 5th person came and took it out? Oh, and a 6th person could have helped. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. My apologies, Your Honor. I won't have you disparaging our investigation, either. We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. So what's going on? Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear? In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence. Oh. Push him harder, Justice. Break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Ugh, why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? Sorry, I'm getting a ping on Discord, and it was for like some stupid fucking drama that people are trying to start. It's God, I can't stand it sometimes, man. People really need to just chill the fuck out. Alright, discover the trap, dispose of the card in the bottle.
Hold it!
Yet Investigations 2 is the best first case. I don't fully agree with that, but it is a good case. Why in the bottle? Perceived my opponent's intent immediately. I'm used to entrapment, you see. I knew it was coming. So you struck first. I like that. I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket so they don't.
Hold it!
You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct? Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout. We have those 4G blockers. They're really good. Was anyone else on the first floor at the time? Not a soul. It was the middle of the night, after all. So there in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. I didn't seem right to leave the injured witness alone. It's called the Shankla. the whatever it is knife. The one that you throw to ward off evil spirits. I'm Italian, I should know that. That's an Italian thing. Whack. Don't whack me. No bonk. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut in his forehead.
Hold it!
And when you returned, the victim was already... dead, yes. I'll admit, I was a little startled when I walked in. A little? He was bleeding from his forehead, after all. Guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that.
Hold it!
Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin? Obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair. And I figured Kristoff's law offices would give me a friend rate for my defense fees. Ah, glad to hear you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Kristoff. Was I who got you involved, after all? You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high. He did bring up this one, that it might have been better if we got to spend more time with the one who did it. Yeah. I could see that. But there's a reason why we don't. Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about? Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him. Now, okay, yeah. So he left to call the police on Smith, who was uncontrolled for knocking out the girl. It's not because of the murder. He called Gavin for the murder. There's an antenna sticking out of it too. Huh. Didn't mean to open that. Got it.
Objection!
He's wearing his hat in the crime photo. So how would Wright have seen the top of his head at that point? Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? Take a look at the photograph of this crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. Good point. Justice, next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it, okay? Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court? I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head. You? You put the hat on the dead man's head? He wore it throughout our entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view, shining bright, just like in this photograph. And picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head. Why'd you do a thing like that? All I could say is, I'm sorry, but that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. So Miss Orley didn't see it? It being the victim's or his head. I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin? This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I begin to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell us the truth about this case, it's now or never. It's never for nothing. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. When I put the hat back on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. A reason? That reason is right here. Your cell phone? That night, I recall that I spoke with a tense defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. What's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Intense defense. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you turned out to be good? He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him. Hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china pate? It's pate, right? There's no accent there. Or is it Pat? If it was Pat, it would have 2 T's. It wasn't you, was it? Me, please. Cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should have come to that. Bone china plate? Oh, I guess it is pate then, because that's how you misheard it. Kind of porcelain. Very smooth and shiny. And not plate, but pate. I believe it was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead. The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my own forehead. The word forehead comes up a lot in this game. You'll see later. Wait a second, something's not right about that phone call then. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club. Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate? Oh, that's right. Yes, that was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court? Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it, Phoenix Wright? Order. I will have order, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear Defense Attorney Gavin's testimony? Well, as the prosecutor, Very well, we'll break for 10 minutes, after which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination. Are we all clear on that? Crystal clear, Your Honor. Very well, this will be the final recess for the day. April 20th, 2:32 p.m. Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who'd have thought today would turn out like this? May I? Wonder who this is. Huh? What? Hello, sir. Please, pick a card. What's all this about? Is this one okay? Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it. A trump card? The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all. An ace. Where do I remember that card from? It's the missing 5th ace. Wait, this blotch of red. Is this blood? You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. This blood-stained card is my trump card for finding the truth? I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. It's tomato sauce, of course, is blood, you dingus. It is dried. That girl. I'd seen her recently, but where? That's when I made the connection. Bloody ace added to the court record. Could this be the missing 5th ace? Received from the mysterious girl. Dried blood is brown. Oh, well, maybe it mixed something with the color on the ink, or who knows. I wonder if this is an HD thing, because I don't remember being able to read this originally. It says Capcom Osaka, Japan, 2007, the year this game came out. Volume 8. I wonder if that refers to anything specific Ace Attorney related. This is Ace Attorney 4. A single drop of blood marks the front of the card. It's red. Red card. Most of the time brown, but sometimes it's more red than brown. It really depends. Yeah, I guess. April 20th, 2:45 p.m. The court's empty outside of Payne and Apollo. Court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. Will the witness state his name and occupation? Is this farce necessary, Your Honor? Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom. Fine, I'll play along. First, there's one thing we need to have made clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat? By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald. What happened to his hair? Did you not see earlier? He lost it. Oh, you were audio only until now. Okay. Remember, he's been bald the entire original trilogy. Now he grew the sides out. Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's head? Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it.
Objection!
New Phoenix. He could still grow hair? I mean, I guess he could grow that little part in the middle. Yes! Old music. Chance this for a second to throw something in the garbage can there. There we go. I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Wright? What do you think you're doing, right? Wow, things sure look different from the other side. Know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore that hat all night, never taking it off once, except for that one time. That one time being the instant he was hit. Oh! When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and put it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to have been there when in the hideout, at the time of the crime. In other words, I must be the real killer, is what you're trying to say. Ooh, that face he's making there. Very intimidating. Whew. Sorry, it's been 3 hours and I'm still reading, so... Not bad, Apollo. Mr. Gavin? I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court. What? Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. Yet I'm afraid in the current situation I see little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night. Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us how you were involved in the events of that fateful night. That fateful night. The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. Must have been right after the murder took place. Victim was dead as he appears in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright holding the bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at the time, and so I left. That's when the call came from Wright. Yeah, pain can still kind of grow that little, like, swirl in the middle. But remember, that gets referenced with his ancestor, too, because Ouchie cuts off the top knot in the second case. Like, he could grow it, and he cuts it off in the end in shame. So I guess it's implied that, like, everyone in his bloodline has that same exact hairstyle. So you witnessed the murder? For better or for worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed. Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are Mr. Wright's defense team. Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client. What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand, after all. So you are, Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify, as you just did. And you had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window. Mr. Wright? You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo? Oh. Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared? Yes, Your Honor. Can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial's getting weirder and weirder. I like that Payne's still in the corner, as if he's still involved in all this.
Hold it!
That man, you mean Mr. Smith? He was different from the other customers. His aura, shall we say. He was aura farming to the max. I knew he was a serious poker player, but it was more than that. So then you knew of the true nature of your client's job? Of course, but I also knew he wasn't engaged in gambling, which would be illegal. Well, it makes sense that he'd know. They were friends, after all. Worried for my friend, I returned to the club. As you see, I feared this Mr. Smith might be someone coming to settle an old score. Gambler. But I should fill a second case. Best second case is from the Spirit of Justice. Magical Turnabout. That one is good. I like Magical Turnabout. I see. What happened then?
Hold it!
The little window. You mean the one used to keep watch up the stairs? Yes, a relic of the ancient past. Black marketers used it, I believe. Why'd you go through the trouble of peeking into the window? Wouldn't it have been easier to just open the door and go into the room? I didn't want to upset Wright, you see. Upset Mr. Wright? Yes, what if my fears had been unfounded? I'd be marking in on their match. Bad form, to say the least. So far, everything he's saying makes sense.
Hold it!
How'd you know it was right after the murder? Really, no need to shout, Justice. I was just getting to that part of my testimony. Ah, there he is, the coolest defense in the West, as we know and love. Even when you're standing up there on the witness stand, some things never change. I was afraid you'd change too, right? But you haven't. You and that overbearing personality of yours. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Victim was dead as he appears in this photo.
Hold it!
By photo, you mean the second photograph of the crime scene? Precisely. You see, he wasn't wearing his hat then. I saw his head when he was dead. And then Mr. Wright came along and replaced his hat. Can you describe the scene of the crime for us? Bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright holding a bottle in his hand.
Hold
Those were the only three things at only three at the scene of the crime? Yes, as far as I saw, at least. And we're back to where we started. Killer was the defendant. Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police? 2 reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I did, what I had seen, couldn't abandon my friend. Wait, what? Wait. What's could have been? Why didn't you talk to the police? I guess that makes sense. Must have been someone else at the moment of the crime. You also gathered herbs for your sis. Oh, nice. I thought you said for your sins. I'm like, what the fuck, Karma? There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime. Justice, I just said I saw no one, not a soul. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said. Ah, yes, this mysterious 4th person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question, then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap the cards in the victim's hand? Perhaps you could show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary? How can I show something I can't find myself? Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out with the 5th ace. The 5th ace, right. Oh, Mr. Justice, the question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason? It's now or never. Defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out. And go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace? Blood?
Take that!
My reason is, this. Don't ask where I got it. Also, bear with me 1 second here. I have to do something real quick. I'm gonna actually pause the recording. It's gonna take like 1 minute. Alright, sorry about that. We're gonna resume right now. A minute. What was it exactly? A minute? Really? Wow. Cool. Glad I'm so speedy. Is that an ace? Is that an ace? Is that an ace? I can't. Man, voices. Why is it? It's got blood on it. Right next to the spade. What? Look at him. Look at how angry he is. This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Could this be the missing 5th ace? Who stained your little... Inconceivable. How could you? What are you doing with that card? Well, that's the thing. Why's Mr. Gavin so upset? Just a fishy card from some fishy girl. Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club the night after the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are her stock and trade, after all. No! Impossible. Unacceptable! The court can't accept this as evidence. It's a fraud! A fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took it from who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason? The reason for the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime. Where are we going with this? Take another look at the photo and at the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down to the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose. The killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible. I'm like fucking up his voice now too. Oh? Right, regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. The killer took their blood. God, fuck you. Fucking hell, Karma. What's important now is that I've answered your question. What are you talking about? You want to know why the killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. And now I've told you. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see. Baseless conjecture. Baseless! Oh, we got the best line in the game coming up here.
Objection!
Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. That's absolutely got to be the thumbnail for this case. It has to be. It's never not going to be. Also, I think this is the first time we see him finger point in this game. The killer took Del Taco. Just like all of you, chat, you are all based. What? Turnabout Legacy was his third favorite. Was Shafrilla's third favorite case? Oh, nice. Third cases tend to like drop in quality in this trilogy, as you're gonna see as we go forward. What? It's amazing, really, how a single drop of blood in a single card can lead us to the truth. Based on gay manga. Oh. I am not. Everyone's based. You are based. Stop. You're cool. You're hip. You're with it. He brings that up, yeah. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yeah? Try picturing the scene of the crime. Imagine an apple in your head, and then try rotating it. Try picturing this crime scene in your head. Yeah, actually, that's what this is. This is the rotating crime scene, I think, or 3D. Wait, watch. Watch, we get like cool. This is 3D. This is DS level, baby. We're in the space now. Cutting edge 3D. Murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table, and before the killer swapped a card out, there was a single drop of blood on the victim. There was a single card with a drop of blood in the victim's hand. On it in the victim's hand. Once again, you're not. Okay, but to be fair, you're a good person, and I appreciate you being here all the time. And I'm so happy. I'm happy you care about me. Thank you. Sincerely, really. Like, I'm not joking there. Try picturing the crime scene. That's called the crime effect. Oh shit, this isn't 999. I still really want to stream that series someday. The Zero Escape series I'm saving for when I have a large audience. If I can ever get a larger audience, I will stream that. As long as most people haven't seen it. That's like one of my favorite, like mystery games series things. Given this, there's one decisive problem with the scene. Oh, what is it? Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood in a card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, or the second witnesses? Whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? Well, okay, wait, I think it's the victim. Because if he bled backwards, it wouldn't have fallen on the card. It would have fallen on the ground. He had to have been leaning forward, so the victim is in the wrong spot. Or is hanging the wrong way, rather.
Take that!
Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem? I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice. Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. You think any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him. Yep, still got it. Zero Escape's kind of a niche series. That's why I want if I could ever get a larger audience here, I will stream it so more people are aware of it. It's great. Take a look at the photo again. If he bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards. No, it would fall on his hat. Phoenix ruined his hat by putting it back on the victim. Why, that's right. So what does this mean? Actually, no, I guess the hat is hanging off of his head, so it would kind of slip through the crack and just fall on the floor. Crack. Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs. Swivel chairs? Oh, man. Apollo, try turning the chair around. Want me to do it? Recreate the crime scene. Chair was facing the other way? It would have to be. This 3D crime scene's amazing. Victim's chair was facing away from the table. Mr. Wright returned from informing the police which way was the chair facing. When I came back to the room, his body was facing as seen in this photo. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We now know the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction. Again? Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location in this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses. Sent me a pick, Karma? That's good. I like that, actually. That's really funny. I'm a sucker for backrooms shit. Junpei, I don't think there's a way out. I like, too, that that's the DS sprite, even though it's using the remake's menu system. I know way too much about Zero Escape. Actually, that might be the HD sprites. It would just be blurry because of the copy and paste job. That's funny, though. So, okay, if the victim's facing this way, his position would still be wrong, because how would he get struck by the killer? The victim was struck from the front, correct? Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is? I would think it'd be quite hard, yes. Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game? I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light. What? There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Paul, if the victim was struck where he was sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it on the diagram. What? But... There's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry, let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing towards the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have been standing to... Wait. Where would the killer have to have been standing to strike our victim from the front? In the dresser, clearly. Need to watch more Zero Escape. It's quite a good series. Again, I want to stream the whole thing. I love it. Why is Phoenix on the assistant side? Karma, have you never seen Apollo Justice before? He's being accused of murder, and now we're accusing the defense attorney that's trained this defense attorney of murder. The killer had to be standing, well, here. You get points for flair, but that's about all you get. Oh, you haven't seen this? Okay. Thought I was onto something there, too. I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha! Simple logic, really. This was the only place the killer could have been standing. And that means at that very moment of the crime... Wait, I know. The moment of the crime, the cupboard, wasn't there. What's this now? I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately. Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard. Your Honor? What? There's one more thing your men should look out for. Please give this to the bailiff. Yes. I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright. I do my best. But let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once more. It's been changed. The killer was standing here at the time of the crime, and this cupboard wasn't here, which means... Apollo, try moving the cupboard. Okay. Thank you. Bailiff, that's your favorite Pokemon. I enjoy a good bay leaf in my French onion soup. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to have been shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my! Phoenix. Phoenix just being an asshole. What's this? What is it now? Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact. Huh? Oh, dang! Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion. Now then, Mr. Justice, please point out the new contradicting indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator in this diagram... Why does it do that automatically? Which indicator in this diagram contradicts what we know about the crime? It's the second witness. You can't see. Gavin, can't see shit. About this cupboard. Are we okay with assuming it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs. Ah! That's right, someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone, like Mr. Gavin. What? What did you say? Oh, is the coolest defense in the West losing his cool? Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court. Exactly, where did you witness the crime scene from? Excuse me, Your Honor. Order! This is a court of law and I will have order. We just now received word from our investigative team at the Borscht Bowl Club. They examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor. Oh, and what did they find? Well, Your Honor, it turns out there's a secret passage behind it. What? Ah, yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the many tricks to the room many of our regulars know about. Phoenix being abused by witnesses and prosecutors for so long and got kicked out of the one wrong thing, he had to be snarky and pissed. I mean, listen, he lost his badge. He did something bad, clearly. I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentions it. A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room is a secret passage. Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht. No doubt. Just like our killer. Why would the secret passage go back into the same room that the stairs connect to? That seems really dumb. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. Did something bad. Meanwhile, Francisco whipped a nay-nay to the whole courtroom. Look, that doesn't matter right now. What matters is that Phoenix is a liar, and he got fired somehow. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked, and the victim's hat was only off his head for the few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something. Dare I ask what really happened that night? Actually, I think we could probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. There he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. Ah! Ah! What? Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get help. Miss Olga Orley was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith. But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage into the hideout. The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look and... After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood in the card. He would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor, and the fact that they were all red. Ugh. Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly, truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Payne? Yeah, yes, Your Honor. Hey, Zachary. Thank you for the raid. Rocket League is a curse to solo players. Aw. Guess he didn't have a good Rocket League sesh. Did I spell that right? Yes, I did. Shout out. How you doing tonight? Prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion. Ah! Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately. Rocket League these days is demanding. You play with friends, don't you lose every single time? Really? I never played Rocket League. I was interested in it, but I just never played it.
Objection!
Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. Not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked. That a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me? The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney. Legal evidence?
Objection!
Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin, is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance. Bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking. How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? And not just any fingerprints, am I right, Mr. Payne? Actually, yes. Fingerprints of the bottle were, upside down. I seem to recall this being an issue earlier. Court in this case demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down. And that's to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? See how the caught fish squirms to the last. Well, Apollo? Yes? Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you could come up with a suitable explanation, just like that. Yeah. Just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to... Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation's the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find an answer there, in plain sight. How about you just say the answer in plain words? It would be hasty to deliver a verdict without unanswered questions, indeed. Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Gavin said that the court in this case demand an explanation. Don't worry, justice won't leave until justice is done. Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on this bottle are upside down? And a fun game? Nice. Oh, Cow the Kangaroo? Yeah, I've seen plenty of people stream that. And play it. It's a fun mascot platformer. It's a remake. That's actually an old game. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle are upside down? Well, Mr. Wright clearly keeps his juice bottles right there near the piano. He'll probably reach down and pull out one backhanded.
Take that!
It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Kangaroo TF, hell yeah. Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair. Excuse me, on the floor? Yes, now reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. Ah! See? you naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down. Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor next to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times. Wow, I can't believe it was that simple. Call our dinner that evening, Kristoff. I was drinking my usual juice then, too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed. There. But then you must have remembered. So you went and picked one of the bottles up from under the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon. Order, order, order! What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection. What? Look at this photograph. Every time I see it, it makes me laugh at you. I bring that... every time they say, look at this photo, or look at this photograph, I make some variation of the joke. Also, I keep... It's every time I see it. I say every time I do. I don't listen to that music. Mr. Gavin, you unicorn elvish pride prick. What? Karma. You claim that I switched the bottle. Where's your proof? Proof? Well, that's, as I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
Objection!
Won't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I requested an additional investigation? Ah, yes. I have your memo about that right here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Bowl Club. And here's one of the bottles in question. What, you're going to dust that for fingerprints too? I'd be surprised if there were any on that but his. Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo. Yes? Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright, that bottle will solve this case once and for all. What? That's some bottle. It's the crumpled Five of Hearts. There's something inside the bottle. You would not be able to just pour that Five of Hearts out. It would be stuck in there. What's this? That card? Can't be. Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a minute. Miss Olga Orley? Yes, our little swindling Devotchka. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. Emright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony. I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the Five of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice where I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. Five of Hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped, and the only one who could have done that was the fourth person in the club that night. You, Mr. Kristoff Gavin. That is all. Is This your idea of revenge? Phoenix Wright? Revenge? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? That is all, now get bent. My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. See, it's a pun, because justice could mean, like, apologist. You capitalize the J. Whatever. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete. Tete-a-tete. That's another phrase I don't know. Tete-a-tete? Tete-a-tete? Look that one up for me, please. Right. This is insane. Head-to-head, yeah. What about me? Don't... Te-a-te. Oh, te-a-te. Okay. Tate... Wait, there's a second T sound in there? Tate... Oh, tate-a-te. Okay. Words. Fucking foreign words, man. Just speak English. You stupid murdering prick. This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? He has Fujitora's devil fruit. Going to bed, EV2? Alright, I'm gonna stop soon, too. As soon as I finish this case. I believe the time has finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin? It's tete-a-tete. I'm fluent in French. Okay. He's admitted everything. We're prosecuting his arrest right now. We're processing his arrest right now. I didn't get to prosecute anyone. I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he? None that we know of. Mr. Wright, have you anything to add? I'm afraid I can't shed any more light in this matter. And about this victim, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession, to be sure, and that's all we know about him. I'll arrange for a follow-up your investigation, Your Honor. Good. Mr. Wright? Yes? 7 years and you still haven't lost your touch. Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance to me, both as a friend and a lawyer. He was extremely talented, to be sure. I needed 2 things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice could be tolerated. This courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me? It's a dark time for our legal system. Twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright, our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, not guilty! That confetti looks very janky. A lot of people say the game peaks with this case. I mean, I have mixed feelings on this game. We'll see. He ain't no Edgeworth. Now, when will you marry him? I said he was already married because he has a daughter. Court is adjourned. Michael needs to drink water immediately. Let's wrap this up. April 20th, 4:28 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Thanks, Apollo. You came through, just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. Gav, the killer. Couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability. Ability? Yes, the sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder if he means... What was that, Mr. Wright? You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself. The answer, right. Today was full of questions without answers, most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason would he have had to commit murder? Perhaps you'll come to learn that in the days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me, I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. I'm showing only like 5 pieces of paper to work with for the confetti. Your daughter, right? That's right. She's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. Eh? I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him. Wait, but that's perjury! You testified. You said that locket was yours. I said no such thing, actually. Huh? I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait, but then, why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside of it? Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. Still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo. Yes? How about coming to work for me? Eh? You mean at the Wright & Company law offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. Can't imagine that to be true, but... Wait, but didn't you... You're not a... Oh, I turned my badge in, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore. That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And the man at the middle of it all. Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion and he left law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence. Forged evidence? What are you talking about? 2019, yeah, 2019 was 7 years ago. It's 2026 right now. So it's literally like less than a year from now that this game takes place. I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. Just seemed, well, too perfect. I'll bet it was this that was the forged evidence. Bloody ace, obviously.
Take that!
You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left. Leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us. Yep, Kristoff was telling the truth here. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then, you really... Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney. Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo? So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that matters much now, does it? I punched him. It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in, if you like. I like how the only thing visible on there is the words Phoenix Wright. And the Wright and Co. Law Offices part. Everything else is like too blurry to read. Mr. Wright. Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling, "Take that," next time. Find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. How about that? Looks Japanese, yeah. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out of the door without his papers filed, so it's illegal. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I'd find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. Now, Kith. Damn it. It said end in the corner. I forgot to put myself down there. I like that they give you this option because I'm absolutely not going to the next episode. So I'm gonna stop here, actually. This fucking... I love this menu system. It's so good. That said, I do want to point this out. So, again, before Apollo Justice was made, they did the remake of the first game with the extra Rise from the Ashes case, which is canon to the Apollo Justice trilogy, but not to the original trilogy. And it's interesting because that extra case that comes up in that game, I believe it mentions the whole thing about illegal evidence and such, with Gant and stuff like that. In fact, I'm going to take a quick look here because there's like a lot of like references to it. Not the attracting thing part. SL9 incident. That's all stuff for the first trilogy. Or not. Alright, never mind. Doesn't mention it. But yeah, this whole case, that Rise from the Ashes case, dealt with forged evidence. What? Paused? What? You could pause the title screens. It's weird. It's ironic. Yeah. No, it's not. Anyway, Gumshoe. So anyway, you know, we set up a lot in this case. We have a new character introduced. His mentor immediately portrayed as a bad guy. He's arrested. We don't know why. Why did Gavin kill that dude? Who is that dude? Why did he have a locket with Phoenix's daughter in it? Why did Phoenix lose his badge? A lot of questions to be answered here. They will be, don't worry. But that'll be a story for another day. I'm gonna wrap it up here for tonight. And I'm gonna say thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here on the bonus Saturday stream. I will hopefully be here tomorrow, and we'll do more Visions of Mana, and then we'll switch off. We'll do Visions of Mana, Ace Attorney, Visions of Mana, Ace Attorney, till we finish them both. And then we'll see where things go. Hopefully I'll finish it all before Legend ZA comes out, which is still over a month away. Legend ZA is the 16th of October. So we got over a month left before we have to worry about it. A story, a game story? But that's just a story. A game story. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, if you want to watch more streams, check out twitch.tv/team/littlespace. There are some people streaming there right now, probably. I don't have the page loaded, so I can't see. There is. And let's see, who have I not rated here? Let me see. That person looks like they might be sleeping. Yes, Karma, I did hear about that story. I already talked about it before. I don't want to get into it. Yeah, I think this person is not here currently. Oh yeah, they're not here. They've been streaming for 34 hours. Okay, never mind. In that case, I'm gonna raid Crayon Munchers because I haven't raided them in a while, and they raided me the other day. So why not? I want to see some cute art. Stick around and say hi to Crayon Munchers. Why is there sound? Stop. That shouldn't be happening. Take care, everyone. Good night. Good night. Say hi to Crayon Munchers for me. Take care. You all have a good night. Google sleeps a lot, yeah. Wait, Google's? That's their name? I don't think that was the name of the channel. Whatever. So anyway, stick around. Say hi to Crayon Munchers. I'll see you tomorrow with more Visions of Mana. Take care, everyone. Good night.